Everyone, it's Jo. I'm back today with another video for Through the Craft Room Door magazine. Today we have something a little bit different for you. It is going to be making the ruffled scarves. I don't know how many of you have actually seen these. I'm sure quite a few. But most of the patterns that are out there and that are on the little bands of the things are all for doing it via knitting. I'm going to show you the crochet version. I've, found a few things out there on how to do crochet, and I kind of combined a couple of them together because of the way I liked them and have come up with the way I do it. You may have a different way, or you might, as you're doing this, come up with something a little different. Let me just give you a quick view of what these scarves are. They're a ruffly scarf, and they're made out of a type of crochet or knitting material that is like a net, and they're really fun. This one here is fun because it's got little sequins on it, and I don't know if you can see them sparkling, but that's neat. And then this one, I really like the color of this one because it has got like the kind of a winter white and a soft tan or a taupe color, and it has a little bit of metallic running through it. I'm not sure if you can see that. And these are really, really soft as well. Now this one, it doesn't look it on the screen, but these are actually purples. There is no blue in this at all, even though it does kind of appear blue, but purples do that sometimes. And this one, again, is the same type of yarn. And then this one is a little bit different. This is really super, super soft. This one has like little pom-poms all along the edges of it. And it's really soft. This is kind of in some Eastery colors, even though it doesn't really look that way on screen, unfortunately. But in person, it's really pretty. It's like a soft lilac and some aqua blues and some soft yellows. And then this one, this is really a stunning one. And you could wear this with anything that would be like from black to red to gray to white because of the combination that's in there. It would look really nice. And this is the one I'm going to end up showing you how to finish up the scarf using this particular one. This is not quite finished at the end. So let me just show you some of the yarns that are out there that can be used. This particular one is by Red Heart, and it's called Sachet. This seems to be a very popular one. This is a little bit tighter woven than the one that I was showing you, the black and red and white one. So that's a little bit different, and it has metallic running through it. All of these do. And then the one that had the little pom-poms on it, that was made by this particular company, and this is just strictly distributed through the Michaels stores. And the one that had the little sequins on it, this is this particular brand, and I got this from AC Moore, which is a craft store. And then the one that we're going to start off showing you, this one is Starbella. Now Starbella, I can tell you, to me it's not as soft a yarn, but it's actually still a very nice yarn, and it is a bigger weave than the others. So that's the one we're going to work on just to make it easier to show you how to do it. So let's go ahead and get started. The black, red, white, and gray one, that is also Starbella. And what you will need is a number 10 or J crochet hook. Now I can tell you, when I first, my first one or two that I did, I actually used a 10.5K because that's all I had, and then I purchased the J, and it does make it a little simpler because with the larger hook, it's a little bit harder to pull your yarn through. So what you're going to do, there's all different versions of how to start this. You can do anything from folding it over and you doing it that way to I just am going to take and tie a little knot at the end, because these ruffles, when it's all said and done and you trim it, you're not going to see this knot, when I'm wearing this scarf. So I'm just going to knot it, and I'm going to pull this open again, my netting, and I'm probably going to skip this very first hole. Now I'm going to try to do this and keep my hands out of the way as much as possible. When it comes to crocheting, it's not really easy. So I'm going to skip this first hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the second one, and I'm going to put my needle in there. I'm going to pick up another one the same way. Again, and you're going to have to keep kind of using your finger to pull it back and using this finger to pull it open. So there's 4, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm doing 10 on this one. Honestly, with the Starbella, 20 makes it nice and full, but just to show you, I'm going to do the 10. So what we're going to do is, now that I have 10 on here, I'm going to push this first one forward, and then this is the hard part, is trying to show you this, is then you're going to pull all of those over top of that very first one like that, and then you want to pull this again to find that very last hole you were just in, and you're going to put your needle in there again, and you're going to do that one more time. It's basically what they would call a chain stitch, but to me that just locks it in. If you don't do that, then they just kind of wander, the stitches do. So let me go ahead and we'll do another 10. There's picking up, and I don't count this first one. Some people do, I don't. So I'm picking up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to do the same thing. I find it easier to kind of grab a hold of them, leaving that very first one towards the front, because that's going to be your one you're going to pull all these over top of, and you're going to pull it through. So now you have that single stitch on there. You want to pull on this one again so you can find that very last hole, go in there, and then pull that stitch through that one that was remaining. And what's going to happen, this will start twisting and turning. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, again, I'm going to kind of hold those like that. And I'm going to pull that through again. Pull on this side so I can find that last hole that this stitch is really the last hole. I'm going to put the needle through there. I'm going to pull that through, and that kind of locks it. And as you can see, you're starting to get your ruffle. And as I said, with the knot, once you get your ruffle going and everything, you're going to be able to cut that and you won't notice it. Okay. Now, let me explain something to you. Again, this is a bigger weaved yarn, so you can get, like I said, I've done 20 on there. The purple tones, that has 20 stitches in each time I pull it through. Some of them only have 10, some have 15. Now, some people actually skip a stitch, and I'll just show you because I'm going to pull this out anyway. So say, for instance, you wanted to do 20 stitches, but you didn't want to actually put 20 on there to pull through. So here I would skip 1, go into that, there's 1, 2, there's 3, there's 4, and see I'm skipping, there's 5, there's 6, there's 7, here's 8, there's 9, and one more makes 10. And again, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to push that one first stitch kind of forward, grab a hold of my others. Now you may do this differently, especially if you are someone who crochets, as far as how you hold your needle. I'm just trying, this is just the easiest way to do it, to demonstrate it. So there I'm finding that last hole again. I'm going to put my needle in there, and I'm going to pull that through. And as you can see, it kind of made it a little bit bigger ruffle. So that was 20 stitches. The best thing I could suggest for you to do is to try it out. try maybe doing about 5 or 6 times. See if you like the fullness. If you think it's too skinny and you want to make it fuller, you can do that by adding go ahead and rip it out, do additional stitches. The one thing you have to remember is the more stitches you put on, the shorter your scarf is going to be. So just keep that in mind. Now, as far as ending it, it's really, really easy. Let me bring in the other scarf so you can see what I've done. Oops, sorry about that. Now, what I have done is I went ahead and I pulled my last stitch through with my needle, and then all I'm going to do is exactly the same thing. I'm going to take it and I'm just going to put a knot in it, and then I'm going to turn that off. Now, you may get all the way through this and go, I don't like, it's just not thick enough for me. I really, really want that to have more bulk. Add more stitches. Add or take away, skip stitches, however you want to do it. It's really up to you. That's why, to be honest, when I did this, I went to Michael's to pick out my yarn because I thought, oh, I'll just get one skein of it to try. Well, apparently they had some yarn there that people had just taken the little bands off of them, and they had them marked down to $1.67, $1.69, something like that. And that's how I ended up getting some. So I got a couple different skeins to try out and see what I could do. So I felt like I was okay. I wasn't wasting anything by changing out the different stitches. So be sure to look in the, as is bins at your stores, because they might have something like this. And you can try it out that way. If you don't want to commit to something, maybe you already have a crochet hook, or if you have a coupon, go ahead and use it to buy your crochet hook and look in the bins to find your yarn. Right now, the stores have lots of these yarns on sale. I think I purchased these for like $2.99 for a skein, and one will do a scarf. So if you want to make up some really cute gifts to give people, you can't beat it, especially if you're going to pay $2.99. I mean, $3 for a gift, and a couple hours worth of time. That's really, really reasonable. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you'll be making some scarves and possibly give them as gifts. I certainly plan to this year. These can be used for dressy scarves to dress up your outfits. I think the more stitches you put on there, the thicker they are, so that you could actually use them almost as a winter scarf. So I'd love to see what you come up with. Post some pictures in our gallery. Thanks again for stopping by and checking it out, and hope you give it a try.